Let's talk about Drake Maye and the New England Patriots because for the first time in over 2 decades, they will have a brand new head coach to start the season, and it will be Coach Mayo. Jerod Mayo is a former linebacker for the Patriots, and he's been on the coaching staff for a couple of years now. He's an excellent defensive mind, and I do believe the New England Patriots will be better in the future because they have moved on to a different coach. And I'm not saying that Bill Belichick is just a horrible coach and that he's completely washed up. In the right situation, Bill Belichick can still succeed in the NFL. The problem that he had with the Patriots ever since Tom Brady departed, they have not been able to go out there and get the offense situated. They have had dreadful draft picks in the first round. Guys like N'Keal Harry. You also had Sonny Michel and also Isaiah Wynn. All of those guys were busts or they were underwhelming. Sonny Michel had some good moments here and there, but overall, he was not the same running back that Nick Chubb has been in the NFL. And they passed up on guys like Terry McLaurin and DK Metcalf to go with a guy like N'Keal Harry. So Bill Belichick, he was missing on those draft picks. You look at the Patriots now, they're still dealing with that. And with the head-scratching decisions over the last couple of years with the coaching hires. When Josh McDaniels departed, he went on to become the Las Vegas Raiders head coach. This man went out there and he had a battle between Joe Judge and Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia had never called offensive plays before in his career, and he let him be the offensive play caller in the second year with Mac Jones. Mac Jones made the NFL playoffs in his first season, but in the second season, he dealt with a lot of injuries, and he was not able to stay on the field and be consistent, and the offensive play calling was just terrible. Then they went on to bring back Bill O'Brien, who had a lot of good moments with the Patriots, and he was a solid head coach with the Houston Texans, but it was just too late. Mac Jones, even though he did not have the right help around him at the skill positions, he was still a terrible quarterback and he threw too many interceptions and he had too many turnovers. But the defense was still doing their thing. The offense was just anemic. Bailey Zappi came in for a couple of games. He gave you some good moments, but it was not good enough. And you usually expect this, but when you look at the Patriots, they have been the gold standard of the NFL over the last couple of years. But without Tom Brady, they haven't been the same. You now select Drake Maye in the first round. You hope that long term he can be your franchise quarterback. And I do believe that he will be their franchise quarterback. You let him sit for a season or two behind Jacoby Brissett because right now he is not ready to play in the NFL on a consistent basis. He can come in for a couple of games if Jacoby Brissett goes down. But Jacoby Brissett is solid enough to where he can go out there and he can win you a couple of football games over the next couple of years. For year one, of year two, if you want to continue to play the long game out with Drake Maye. Jacoby Brissett's not going to go out there. He's not going to be a top 10, top 15 quarterback, but he's a solid veteran to have. And he was drafted by the Patriots, and he had good moments with the Patriots as well. And he had some solid moments with the Washington Commanders when he came in for cleanup duty behind Sam Howell. Now, that's different between just going out there and being a backup, being a starter on a consistent basis. Well, he was a starter on a consistent basis with the Indianapolis Colts. I think that he will come over with this young Patriots offense. He's going to help settle guys down and just take care of the football. And you're bringing in yet a brand new offensive coordinator. Coach Mayo decided not to retain Bill O'Brien. He wanted to go his separate ways. So they said, you know what? Let's bring in someone else. Alex Van Pelt. Solid offensive mind from the Cleveland Browns. He was the offensive coordinator with the Browns, but Kevin Stefanski called the plays. Now, in the past, Alex has called some plays, and he wants to run the football as much as possible and work it to play action. I expect for that to be the case with the Patriots. Ramondre Stevenson, when he is healthy, is a solid running back to have. He is giving you some good seasons here and there, especially when it was him and Damon Harris. Damon Harris was dealing with a lot of injuries, especially to the hamstring. So Ramondre Stevenson became the every down back for them. Last season, you had him and Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott did not look good with the Patriots. He wasn't just completely horrible because he had some good moments, but he was completely washed on the field. You couldn't get him 15 to 20 carries in the game because he will only average 2 to 3 yards a carry. Ramondre Stevenson can go out there. He can average 3 to 4 yards a carry. And this is a Patriots offense to where a lot of teams around the NFL, they don't fear the wide receivers. So if Jacoby Brissett can just go out there and give you a couple of deep plays a game, just take the safeties out the box, Ramondre Stevenson should have a better season than he had for this last season with the Patriots. He averaged 4 yards a carry, 619 rushing yards on the season, 4 rushing touchdowns. In the past, we've seen him be the bell cow running back. They also have Antonio Gibson as well. Now, Antonio Gibson this season with the Commanders did not get much action. And a lot of people said he has had a fumbling issue. Ezekiel Elliott just had a fumbling issue last season. Antonio Gibson, for the first couple of years in the NFL, he was a solid running back. So for him to be a backup, that's an awesome role that he will have with the Patriots. And you look at the wide receivers. Now, the wide receivers have been the Achilles heel with the Patriots. This has been the biggest weak spot with this organization, even when Tom Brady was still with the roster over those last couple of years. They lack speed and they lack explosiveness. That's why in the second round, they drafted Jalen Polk, a very good wide receiver from Washington. He can stretch the field. He can run every single route that you want him to. He can be the number one wide receiver long-term for the Patriots. You still have Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju Smith-Schuster is a solid number 2 wide receiver. He's not a true number 1. Kendrick Bourne dealt with an ACL injury this season. Hopefully he can bounce back. We saw what he was able to do in that first season with the Patriots. He had over 800 yards receiving when Josh McDaniels was calling plays and when they made the NFL playoffs. Not a true number 1 wide receiver, but he's not bad. And he has some explosiveness to his game as well, which is desperately needed for the Patriots offense. So I like the pieces that they have at the wide receiver position. It's not the best, but it's not one of the worst wide receiving cores in the NFL. DeMario Douglas is a slept-on wide receiver. I think that he will have a big season upcoming for the Patriots with Jacoby Brissett getting him the football. 561 receiving yards on the season with 0 receiving touchdowns. And we have to give these wide receivers a lot of grace because the quarterback play was terrible. Yeah, I made a lot of excuses in the past for Mac Jones, and it was granted because the talent wasn't the best, but at the same time, he cannot read NFL defenses, and when they blitzed him, he'll just throw it straight into double coverage. That's on the wide receiver. What is on the wide receiver, they were not able to go out there and beat press. Even in Tom Brady's last season in the NFL, they have been in the bottom of the league in terms of separation. They have to be better. And I think with bringing in Alex Van Pelt, he's going to help out with that. I think Jacoby Brissett, with him being a veteran and playing with a lot of teams across the NFL, he's going to help these guys get acclimated into the system. The big thing with the Patriots is just play through this defense and run the football and work off of play action. That's pretty much it. They don't need Jacoby Brissett to go out there and throw the football 30, 35 times in a game. And you do not want to be in a shootout with an opposing team like the Buffalo Bills or the New York Jets. The bread and butter for the Patriots is going to be developing Drake Maye behind the scenes and letting this defense do their thing. Because even though their offense is one of the weaker offenses in the NFL, their defense is still very good. And that was a strong statement with Bill Belichick over the last couple of years. Even when that offense, at some points in times, were dead last in the NFL in scoring efficiency, guess what? Their defense were a top 10 to top 15 unit. And their defense would be better statistically if their offense was not going out there and throwing pick sixes and just giving the football up. You have a very good front seven. Matthew Judon missed time this season. Tore his biceps against the Dallas Cowboys. Just the season before, he had double-digit sacks. Him and Josh Uche, a very good pass rushing duo. Now, Josh this season did not have the best season, but he benefited a lot from playing alongside Matthew Judon. And Matt Judon was a part of that free agency class a couple of years ago when Bill Belichick just went crazy and says, everyone's going to get a big money deal out of me. He was in the same class with guys like Jonnu Smith, who was not able to work out. We'll talk about the tight ends in a couple of minutes when we get done with the defense. But when I look at this defense with the Patriots, Matthew Judon, he's a star, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. Their secondary, you have Christian Gonzalez, was a rookie last season with the Patriots. The problem was this. He was a top cornerback, not just a top rookie cornerback, one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. Before he tore his labrum against the Dallas Cowboys, they came out of that game as the walking wounded. They were missing 2 of their best defensive players for the majority of the season, and yet their defense was still solid. If Christian Gonzalez can still go out there and he can be developed at that high level, you can have one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. We're talking about an all-pro right here in that secondary. And those safeties that they have, Jabril Peppers, he's a true playmaker. At the free safety position, Kyle Duggar is a slept-on safety at the strong safety position. Their linebackers, they're solid. Now, their defensive tackles are very good. Devon Gotcha, he's not going to go out there and he's not going to be a sack master. That's not what he's known for. He's known to go out there and stop the run. He is a huge man. And the same with Christian Barmore as well. Christian Barmore has been so good with the Patriots, he just signed a long-term extension. 8.5 sacks on the season, 1 forced fumble. Over the last couple of years, he has secretly become one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL. He is very good. You also have Keon White, who is a developmental pass rusher coming out of Georgia Tech. I think that he can get you 6 or 7 sacks in the season. I like his game, and I like it a lot. I think that he could be a key defensive player with the Patriots. Now, the big thing is this: will their defense fall off a cliff without Bill Belichick? Because Bill Belichick, even dating back when he first touched down the NFL, when he was a defensive coordinator, he's been a defensive guru. Will Coach Mayo have the same type of mindset with him? And we also have to put this into effect as well. This is Coach Mayo's first season as a head coach. So the Patriots only win 3 to 4 games. That's okay. Just give them time. But the biggest things with the Patriots this season is to see the development of Christian Gonzalez and to see if Matthew Judon can still be a top pass rusher coming off of this injury. And he should be, by the way. But the most important thing, more than all of that with the Patriots, is the development of Drake Maye. And it comes down to the quarterback coach as well. Coach TC, will he go out there and can he help Drake Maye be developed? And I like Drake Maye's skill set a lot. This is a guy that's going to go out there. He shows a lot of Josh Allen to his game. And he will have some big turnovers here and there. That's why he's not ready to play on a consistent basis in the NFL. But if you ease him into that, I think he'll be in a better situation. History have shown this. Quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Jordan Love, they got to sit down for a season or two, and they benefited a lot because of that. You don't just push this kid out here. Because even if Drake Maye is able to go out there and possibly be the best rookie quarterback in this season, the offense still does not have the key pieces around him to be a top unit in the NFL. So there's really no reason to go out there and just rush him into this situation. This is still a team that is rebuilding. And when you look at the tight end spot, the tight ends, Hunter Henry, solid guy if he can stay on the field. 419 receiving yards on the season, 6 receiving touchdowns. He was in the same free agency class with Matthew Judon and Jonnu Smith. He was the second best signing, in my opinion, in that class because Jonnu Smith was a complete bust. They did not know how to use him. But Hunter Henry is a more traditional tight end. When it's 3rd and 5 or when it's 3rd and goal, they're going to try to get him the football as much as possible. He's a solid option to have. So I think the Patriots, it's a lot of things to look forward to, but for this upcoming season, it's going to be a struggle because of the division that you're in. This is not the same division 6 or 7 years ago. You have the Buffalo Bills. They're still tough with Josh Allen and the pieces that they have around him. The New York Jets with Aaron Rodgers. We'll see if Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy for a full season, but they're expected to make a Super Bowl push. Then you also have another team in this division that has given the Patriots a lot of problems over the last couple of years, even when Tom Brady was still with the roster in the Miami Dolphins with Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill. It's going to be a long process for the Patriots, but they're still in that rebuilding category right now. But I believe that they're playing it safe. Just develop Drake Maye and just let Jacoby Brissett do his thing. And if Drake Maye is still not ready by year 2, that's okay. Let this kid sit. Don't rush it. In the preseason, give him the snaps. Give him the live action. Just help him develop and give him that confidence. Because we've seen in the past, the Patriots can't mess this up. But we've seen in the past with quarterbacks in this division like Sam Darnold. They put him out there too early. He's not ready. He loses confidence. The same with Zach Wilson. They put him out there too early. He's not ready. He loses confidence. The one thing about that position in the NFL, once you lose the confidence, you're going to need a brand new change of scenery. Look at Baker Mayfield, the Cleveland Browns. It didn't work out over there. He lost confidence. They shipped him off to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now he's better. The same with Geno Smith. The Jets really have a terrible track record of developing quarterbacks. But the same with Geno Smith. Lost confidence. They didn't have the confidence in him. They shipped him off. He became a journeyman. Now he's more successful with the Seattle Seahawks. Drake Maye has the potential to be a top quarterback in the NFL, but just be patient with it. And I know a lot of Patriot fans don't want to hear that because they just won 6 Super Bowls. And it seemed like they were winning those things back to back, but they really weren't. But they had a dynasty for the last 20 years. They ran the NFL. I think you give it a couple of years, you could be in that situation yet again, but you have to be patient. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you guys feel about the New England Patriots, and is Drake May going to be their franchise quarterback in the next couple of years? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, we want each and every last one of you guys to stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. God bless. Peace.